Yes, I hope everyone's having an amazing day today. I really cannot wait to talk to you about this book. Last time, on the last edition of Books You Must Read on the series that I'm doing, I talked about the book, the single book that helped transform my life from a physical standpoint. Now today, I want to talk about the book that helped transform my life from a mental standpoint. Now, as many of you know who have been following my work, I'm a big advocate for meditation. I've been meditating on and off for about 3 years, but I've been meditating almost every day and pretty, consistently since for about the last year. And I have tons of books on meditation, tons of audiobooks on meditation. Uh, you know, I've had meditation teachers, mindfulness instructors, but the single book and the single piece of information that's helped transform my life in the meditation and mind arena is this one right here. The Mind Illuminated. And I'm going to try Culadasa by Culadasa John Yates, PhD. So as you notice, I haven't quite finished the book yet. This book runs through the 10 stages of meditation. And it's very important to walk through this book almost as if it's a program. So you don't read the whole thing front to back, just as I haven't yet. So you read it, you apply the first stage of meditation into your life, which is the first stage in the Mind Illuminated of meditation, is to have a consistent daily meditation practice. Now, I've heard in some circles that it's important to meditate every single day for at least an hour, right? I think Shinzen Young, one of my other favorite meditation teachers, says, I think he says about an hour a day is good. Some circles say, no more than 10 minutes. What I like to do is I set my intention every single day in the morning to meditate at least 15 minutes. Okay? And if I can't meditate in the morning, I try at some point at night, even if I have to do it before bed. Because as I always say, and the most important thing for success in any area of life is consistency. If you're consistent at something, you'll be successful at it. So just as I've been meditating on and off for a number of years, I didn't really find much in the way of growth in meditation. I meditated and I felt good after it, but there was no long-term growth until I started about a year ago choosing to meditate every day. And I would meditate, I started 5 minutes a day. 5 minutes a day, and I started seeing growth. And I added 10 minutes, 15 minutes. And some weeks I can go and I'll meditate 45 minutes a day. But consistency is more important than intensity, I think, in this case. So this book, you get down to stage 1, you get it covered, and then you move on to stage 2. And you learn about, throughout the program, throughout the book, you learn about different breathing techniques, different ways to hold attention on the breath. So one of my favorite things, two of my favorite insights as far as focusing on the breath, because meditation, a big part of staying mindful in your meditation is to focus on a meditation object. So this book is big on making your breath your meditation object. So one thing he teaches in this book that I really loved, and it's really changed how long I can focus on the breath and remain vigilant and sitting and meditating and focusing on the breath. See, I'm already getting really relaxed right now, and I'm already getting in the zone. I've been doing it consistently long enough that I can just do it like that now. So one of the 2 techniques that I love that he talks about is when you focus on the breath, draw the in-breath in. Well, and try to focus and notice 5 to 7 sensations on your in-breath and 3 to 5 sensations on your out-breath. Now, at first, this might seem very difficult, and it was for me. I go, 5 to 7? Are you kidding me? That'll keep me occupied for an 8-hour meditation. I don't know. I can barely find 2 or 3. So that's the point. So you sit there and you're meditating, and you want to focus intently on the meditation object. And so you breathe in. What are the sensations I'm feeling? Feeling a little tingle at the tip of my nose. Maybe my lungs are expanding, my belly's expanding. Maybe there's a little hair in my nose that's moving around, right? Okay, now the out breath. What are 3 to 5 sensations in the out breath? It's much harder to find sensations in the out breath. So you try to find those sensations so you can be completely focused on the breath. So a thought can come into your head and you can easily dismiss it and focus back on the breath. The other technique that I love that he teaches in this book is to remain focused on the breath. So what a lot of people do during meditation, especially something I did, was between the in-breath and out-breath, or between the out-breath and the in-breath, I would lose focus and think about something. What's for lunch today? Oh, crap. Back to the breath. So I coupled the 5 to 7 sensations on the in-breath, the 3 to 5 sensations in the out-breath. I coupled that technique with trying to laser in and pinpoint the exact moment that the in-breath ends and the out-breath begins. And then also when the out-breath ends and the in-breath begins. So it's a constant cycle of focus in your breath. So what I've gone through so far in this book, I'm at stage 5 at the moment. And I have progressed, like I said, I've been meditating consistently for about a year. I started reading this book about 5 months ago. And I have progressed so much in that 5 months in my meditation practice. It's been unreal. So I highly recommend the Mind Illuminated. It's the best book you can pick up for meditation. Don't look at it. I mean, it can be wildly overwhelming to look at and say, I got to read this whole thing, but there's charts and everything like this. It talks about the 10 stages, charts. It almost looks like a textbook. And if you kind of look at it like that and say, oh my God, I'm going to be completely overwhelmed reading this, you'll be overwhelmed reading this. I've been reading this for 5 months, and I'm still reading it. So I'm reading like 3 books right now, and this is just one of those books that I'll pick up when I'm ready to advance my meditation practice, when I feel like I'm ready, and I'll learn a new technique, or I'll learn a new idea from it, and I'll implement it very slowly. The idea to read this book in a very slow way. Be good, be proficient at one area of this, and then move on to the next. So my meditation practice has just gone, I don't know, it's helped meditation become one of my favorite things to do. And this is somebody who, enjoys many things in life. I love surfing. I love hiking. I have so many passions. And simply sitting and being present every single day, whether it's for 15 minutes or whether it's for an hour, simply doing that every single day has become one of my favorite things to do. And this book has helped create that. I look forward to meditating every day because I know I don't just meditation, thanks to this book, doesn't just make me feel better in the moment or throughout the day, but it's really helped me show up in the world and show up in my life in a much more enriching way. I'm much more present when I'm walking down the street. I'm much more present in my work and my coaching. I'm much more present when I'm out in the water surfing, feeling the salt water on my skin. I'm much more present out in nature, being connected with the world. I'm much more focused, and I'm much less easily distracted in my life. And this book helps create that. A lot of people ask me because they see me sharing about meditation all the time, whether it's on any social media platform. So people ask me, how can I start meditating? And I'll give them a couple of key practices, and I'll say, come back to me when you're done doing that. Talk about focusing on the breath, talk about posture, talk about consistency of practice, talking about acknowledging thoughts, not trying to get rid of the thoughts that come into your mind, but acknowledging them and saying, all right, I'm thinking, back to the breath, return to the meditation object. But I say, come back to me when you feel like you are adept at that. And once they come back to me, I always say, I send them the link to this book. And I say, take your time reading it. Be mindful. Don't get overwhelmed reading all that and feel like you got to read it all in one sitting. Take 10 years to read this if you feel like you have to. Or take 1 year. I'm anticipating it'll take me at least a couple of years to get through this. To be adept enough to get to stage 10. But get this book. So what I'd recommend to anybody who's thinking about meditating is be consistent in your practice. And he does walk through all this too. Be consistent in your practice. Do it every day, whether it's 5 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever. Be consistent every single day in your meditation practice. Learn the basics of meditation. Learn about the breathing. Learn about focusing on a meditation object. And then I'd highly recommend getting this book and working through it. So right now I've shared with you guys, between this week and last week, the 2 books that have changed my mindset and my physiology, really. So, and I'm so thankful, because Bigger, Leaner, Stronger is the body one, and the Mind Illuminated is the mind one. And I started reading these at around the same time. And man, it was just like a power punch into my life, man. It was the most incredible thing ever. And I don't know, I'm just so much more, through meditation and through this book helping guide me through my meditation journey. I'm getting chills. I feel like I'm so much more me. Through meditation, I have become more and more me. Through meditation, I have become more and more alive. And while I recognize that I cannot choose to live longer always, I can choose to live deeper. And I'm choosing to live deeper every single day by practicing the art of meditation. And this book has helped me come a long way. So, John Yates, PhD, thank you very, very much. I will recommend this book always to anybody who's interested in meditation. I'd love to have you on my podcast one day. Man, I would love to have you on there. So, guys, if you love this video, if you liked it a little bit, feel free to give that a like down there. Say hello. Leave me a comment. Are you picking up the book? You should do it. If you're thinking about meditating, you should do it even if you're not thinking about meditating. Pick up this book and just start meditating. Okay? So give a like. Hey, and if you really like this video, give me a subscribe. Be notified every time I put out a new video. I'm going to be doing a lot more of these videos, talking about all sorts of different books that have really changed my life, and other kinds of videos, coaching videos that I do. So you guys, all the best. Be good. Be awesome. Be great. And as always, onwards and upwards. Boom!